We're going to call this meeting to order, excuse me. It is 5:48 p.m. This meeting is now called to order at 5:48 p.m. Mr. Iniguez, can you lead us on in invocation?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Please bow your heads in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we are thankful for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We are grateful for the citizens who are interested in our city and who bring matters concerning traffic and safety to the attention of the commissioners for their consideration. We ask that you be with the commissioners as they deliberate these matters and make their decisions. Amen.
Commissioner Lopez, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Madam Secretary, can we please take roll call?
Yes. Chairperson David Heredia. Commissioner Hugo Alvarado. Commissioner Edgar Lopez.
Here.
Commissioner Gustavo Mendez.
Here.
Commissioner Samuel Perez.
Here.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, was the agenda posted according to state law?
Yes, the agenda was posted according to state law.
Thank you. This is the time given to the public to speak on agenda and non-agenda items. Madam Secretary, did you get any? Oh, we have a hand raised.
Here to talk about Agenda 7.1, the speed bumps for Crest Avenue. And I see that there are going to be put through for, I'm not sure what you guys are going to do as far as we put in petitions and we put them and we turned them into you guys. And it was like the whole block was requesting these speed bumps. But now there's a next step as to what needs to be done. Can you explain that to us? Because we do have some of the people here from Crest Avenue that are kind of wondering what's the next step and what's going on.
Yes, thank you. We will be doing a presentation followed by opening it up for discussion for public comment.
Okay.
So, yes, thank you.
And that's tonight, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other members of the public that would like to have a comment? No. Oh, yes. Please, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Virginia Real, and it's a little more than 2 months, maybe a week after that my husband and I submit an application for handicap space. We didn't receive any answers till now, and I would like to talk a little more about, what we write down in the application, things that we've been living, where we at. We've been living in the city of Bell Gardens over 35 years. And till lately, it's been a lot of issues on the street, traffic issues. One of them is 2 weeks ago, I hit a car backing up from my driveway. One of those cars that illegally park in a double line, and they don't care. You see them, and sometimes it was my case. I didn't see the car, it was behind. I was going back because we got a visitor who was in front of my car, so I was backing up, and I didn't see the car, so I ended up hitting it. I came over to the police department because the person didn't tell me nothing that day. I didn't know who the owner of the car was because the car was parked over there for the longest time. Next day, somebody came over to me and asked me for my insurance and my driver license. I didn't give it to the person. I just gave him my insurance number. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair because nowadays people don't have any respect to the laws, traffic laws, you know. Since I remember, it's not legal to be parked and double line. And now I hear that the street where I live, which is Felix Avenue, is one of the smallest street or shortest one in the city. And it's a lot of cars usually park at any time, day, midday, afternoon, night, parking in a double line. And me and my husband, we both old people with medical issues, you know, and that's the reason that we apply for that space outside, you know, to be able whenever my husband is a very ill man, and often I have to take him to Kaiser, you know, to a doctor, to an emergency. And now, like I say, you know, with all those things, it make it even worse for us, for me. Every time that he got sick, you know, to be able to take him to see a doctor, you know. So I don't know what the response is, you know, to my applications, but I will please request, you know, that take on, you know, oh my God, I get nervous. To take, you know, what I'm saying and you know, about things that happen over there on the street, you know, that I don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair, but it's nothing that I can do, but to please ask you guys to request, you know, our petition.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Are there any other comments from the public? Madam Secretary, are there any comments online?
No, we didn't.
No? Okay. So I need a motion from a commissioner to close public participation.
I motion.
Thank you. May we have a second?
I second.
Okay. Do we need to get a roll call for the motion? Okay.
Yes,
Yes, may we please have a roll call?
okay. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the approval of the minutes meeting. I need a motion from a commissioner on approving the minutes on the meeting of August. August 5th, 2025. Unless if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns. Otherwise, if I may have a commissioner make a motion.
I motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, may we have roll call on that one?
Yes. Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay, motion passes.
Yes.
Thank you. Now for discussion items. We'll be stating the title of each item. Mr. Negus, will you please give the report?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Item number 7.1 is regarding a request for speed humps on Crest Avenue from Florence Avenue to Clara Street. It is staff's recommendation that the Traffic and Safety Commission, 1, authorize staff to distribute a speed hump survey questionnaire to all residents fronting Crest Avenue from Florence Avenue to Clara Street, requesting their confirmation of support or opposition of the proposed speed hump installation. And 2, if at least 51% resident support is obtained, then approve for city council consideration the installation of the proposed speed humps on Crest Avenue, or If less than 51% resident support is obtained, then deny and close out the citizen speed hump request. So with that, I'll have Dennis present the report. Dennis?
Thank you, Director. Some background information for the recommendations that were made. The Public Works Department received a petition from the residents requesting the installation of speed humps on Crest Avenue from Florence Avenue to Clara Street in accordance with the city's policy. The residents expressed concerns about speeding on the particular street segment. Figure 1 of your report gives an aerial view of the area that was requested. Figure 2 I've provided shows the street width being less than 40 feet, another requirement as part of the city's policy. In terms of page 3 of the report, I talk about what the city's policy is, some of the information that we look at, the residential street, less than 40 feet, traffic volumes between 500 and 3,000 vehicles a day, prima facie speed posted 25. And the actual measured, what we call the 85th percentile speed, it has to be greater than the posted speed of 25 by 8 miles per hour or more. That would indicate a speeding problem or issue on that particular street. The grades relatively is flat on that particular requested street. It's not a transit route, so that was considered. We ordered, in order to respond and evaluate the request, I ordered traffic volume counts and speed profiles for 3 days. That's to give an overview. That's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Give not just one day, but give an overview of what's happening out there. The block length is about 900 feet in length. The ADT came back. It's averaging about 910 vehicles a day. And then there were actually 2 days where the speed profile showed that there was a speeding issue. And that was on August 12th and August 13th, where the recorded speed profiles were 8 miles per hour greater than the posted. They were recorded as 33. So what that means is it qualifies per the city speed hump policy that there is identified speeding problem. That's a requirement for the policy. After reviewing the policy criteria and the collected data, I made the recommendation that the subject residential block of Crest Avenue meets the requirements to proceed with the next step in consideration of the citizen speed hump request, which would the current policy is, which includes the distribution of a speed hump survey questionnaire to all residents that front Crest Avenue from Florence Avenue to Clara Street. When I requested the speed hump ADT and speed profiles, I asked the consultant, the sub-consultant, to set them at 300 and 600 feet from the north. So that's approximately where those speed humps would go in. In other words, from Florence Avenue, it would be 300 feet and 600 feet. So there would be 2 humps that would be part of the questionnaire that gets sent out to the residents. So the city has received the original petition, but policy requires we send out the survey for confirmation. Okay, you requested it. This is what we're proposing to do. 2 humps. Do you still agree? Is there going to be 51% participation? So that will be the next action. And that's part of and also as a part of the report, made an estimate, what will it cost to install those humps if they're approved? And we estimated the cost to be like $3,795. There is money in the city's maintenance budget. And that's the basis for the recommendation that was reported earlier. I'm now opening up to any questions that the commissioners may have relative to the report and recommendations.
Thank you so much. If I may start with the questions, what would be the duration in making 2 speed bumps on this street, if approved?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
What would be the duration of the construction?
Duration of the, yes, I'm sorry. It can vary. Again, I can't speak for, for the city if they want to contract out or it's done by city staff, but it would take probably after approval, because it has to go to council, and then after approval, it could take 2 to possibly 4 weeks, perhaps. They can do
answer
them
the
like in a
question-
day, but
Yeah,
I
to
defer to
explain-
the director.
Yeah, to expand on what Dennis is saying, I would do this with my in-house staff. So after, should this move forward, should 50% approval be garnered and the council adopt this as well, it will be within 2 weeks of city council approval.
Thank you. May we see a draft of the questionnaire survey that will be distributed to the public?
Yes, I'm sure that the public works staff, the admin secretary can provide that to you, send it to you through email so you have a chance to look at what that is. I did not include that in the packet because we're not at that stage yet.
Yeah, thankfully, we have members of the public that may be affected by this, so hopefully they could chime in and so that if there's additional questions that need to be asked in that survey or questionnaire, that it could get added. Other than that, I have no further questions. Commissioners, if you have questions.
Good evening. Around how many people will get that questionnaire?
It'll be all the residents, one survey per household that front within the project limits stated. So a survey will be sent out to each household and they'll have an opportunity to respond yes, no. And typically when we send out the survey, we'll send out a diagram showing where the humps are proposed. And I'm just sharing with you, when the speed profile surveys were done, I requested they be done because I already looked ahead of time. If I were to put them in, I'd put 2 in at 300 feet and 600 feet spacing, but that would be 2 humps at that distance. We'd show a diagram that would be sent out with the survey so they have an idea where they're going to go in at. And they're adjusted plus or minus at each location, so they're not on top of a manhole or some other obstruction that would impact the location.
Thank you.
Do we have any additional questions? Okay. After the report, I need a motion from the commission.
I can motion.
Thank you. Does the commissioner need to read it all in verbatim, or just because we get a motion, we can move on and ask for a second? Okay. Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you so much. Madam Secretary, may we please get roll call?
Yes. Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Hereda, Chairperson.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to item 7.2, Mr. Iniguez.
Yes, Mr. Chair, item number 7.2 is regarding a request for a disabled person parking space fronting 8045 Felix Avenue. It is staff's recommendation that the Traffic and Safety Commission deny the request for a disabled person parking space fronting 8045 Felix Avenue. So with that, I'll have Dennis provide the full report.
Thank you, Director. In support of the recommendation, I'll provide in the report that was prepared and talk about the background and discussion information. Staff received the request to install a disabled parking space from the resident at 8045 Felix Avenue. The city has basically a policy for on-street parking for disabled persons, blue curb, to evaluate each request on a case-by-case basis. I'll just repeat some of the key points. Disabled resident or a relative of a disabled resident can make that request. And to qualify, the applicant must be in possession of a valid plates for a disabled or ADA parking space per the California Department of Vehicle Code. The placard must be in the front of the person's place. The resident must not have, and this is a kind of a key point, must not have off-street parking available or off-street parking space that may be used for disabled parking. What that means is that the person has a driveway or have space that they can accommodate the vehicle on site. Another component of that is the applicant must provide a signed statement from a medical doctor that the disabled person is unable, even with the aid of crutches, braces, walker, wheelchair, whatever, to travel more than 50 feet from his or her home in the automobile without assistance from another person. Within the reports that were presented to the commissioners, Figure 1 gives you the aerial view. Figure 2 is provided to give you the street view looking at the residence. Figure 3 I provided was to give you an aerial view showing the existing driveway width, which is approximately about 8.2 feet in width, which is wide enough to accommodate a vehicle to open your doors to get in or out of the vehicle. Figure 4 I provided in response to the medical concerns what the distance is from the garage to the curb face out in the street of Felix Avenue, which is about 52.9 feet. So in that garage, if you were a person were to get out and walk, it's greater than the 50 feet. With that in mind, all those facts were evaluated and considered looking at the site. In response to the submitted documents, the applicant has all of the required components per the city's policy, and they had to sign a statement from the medical doctor. However, I've made a determination that the location does not qualify for the disabled parking space, as the driveway, they have a driveway that could be used to accommodate on site the person's vehicle. Parking is a premium in the city, so we always have to look at those facts for each request that we receive at the city. There was a comment made by the resident that their existing driveway has holes and cracks that they couldn't afford to have it repaired. And so I was aware of the comments made on the application. In the conclusion, after the field condition determination, made the decision or determination to deny the request because there was adequate space, has off-street parking space available. And with that, at this time, I'd open it up to the commissioners for questions that they may have concerning the request.
Thank you so much for that report. Commissioners, do we have any questions or concerns at this time?
That's up to the.
Yes, normally our feedback from our public, we save it towards the end. So if that's okay with you. Yes, thank you. Okay, since there's no other additional questions, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion from the commission. Oh, yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes, in regards to what were the other check boxes that they didn't check out in regards for not qualifying for the disabled parking?
Again, if they have an existing driveway, So the driveway provides, has adequate width and length to accommodate the vehicle. If they had no garage, did not have a garage or somewhere else to place their vehicle, and that can lead sometimes to the request to put one, an ADA space out on the curb. And it has to be in front of the residence. The other statement is that the 50 feet, that person would have to, is like 52 feet from their garage to walking out to the curb there. But the big thing is, the major concerns are, do they have on-site parking? Is it wide enough to accommodate the vehicle, to allow ingress, egress from the vehicle, for a person to get in and out of the vehicle? So that's one of the primary concerns per the policy as stated. And in your report, I repeated some of those concerns on page 1 of the report, which those are the statements or the facts that are required as a part of the applicant's submittal to the city. Once the information is received, then the determination is made, can their on-site driveway or garage accommodate the individual or not? And that was part of the evaluation. So that was the decision presented to the commission. As I've stated before, the commission always has the authority to review the presentation and recommendations made in the report. And they have also the authority, as I understand, that the recommendation can be changed if they so believe that there's something else that maybe there's an exception to the rules or policy.
Thank you.
Yes, if we may have at this time our member from the public speak on this.
My husband had real sick that night. He came out of the house, he didn't want to call the ambulance. He wanted to take him to the doctor. He ended up losing. Okay. This happened around a year ago, a little, maybe, I don't know, a year and 2 months or something like that. He got real sick and he don't want me to call the ambulance. He want me to take him. He walked outside. He was about to get into the car. He loses the straight of his legs and he ended up falling up, back. And nobody knows, still go over there and check those cracks in the driveway, It's a very old house with a very old driveway. We don't have the money, we don't have the sources at this moment to fix it. And I don't think is right, I don't think it's correct, the decision, because it's a couple of cars over there that is being parking over there every single day. They just move it when the the cleaner goes every Thursday and put it back on the place, They have, one is right outside my house and the other one is across the street. So they don't have any permission, anything, I believe. I don't think so. And the cars are always over there, So I don't know, I just tell you that our condition, my husband and I, both old people, and I believe those handicap spaces, it should be in every street, for every old person who need it. Because we got a neighbor that is also old, like us, like me and my husband, and he's always having a hard time to park, going around the street over and over till he find a place to park. And he's older than me and my husband. So I believe you guys have to have that in consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback. I highly appreciate it. I want to say that I think it is important to do a reconsideration of this item. Time and time again, I have heard residents with these similar grievances, and I just would like for a reconsideration to be made. Commissioners, any other thoughts on this?
Yeah, just a quick question. As a commission, if we were to approve this, does this go to city council or with our approval, it gets installed?
Through the chair, actually, this will go to the city council. Because keep in mind that, as Dennis stated, that there were policies adopted citywide because there is a parking issue citywide, and I understand all the concerns that some of our residents have. So we're trying to be equitable to all our citizens and residents.
Sounds good. Thank you.
In the report, it says at the bottom, fiscal impact, none. That goes based off the denial, or if it was to be reconsidered and then possibly approved, that there's no fiscal impact. If that may be clarified.
Yeah, the fiscal impact of none is based on the recommendation, should the commission adopt the recommended item. If there's a deviation and there has to be any labor performed, there will be a cost impact.
I do have a follow-up question. Do we know about a scenario where it has been implemented, in regards to whether the policy was for it or not? Was there ever an exception made?
You're saying, can the commissioner have it in the past ever made a different decision is what you're asking?
Yeah, in regards of someone not checking all the boxes, is still gone forward before?
Oh, yes, I have to, in the past, there have been times when the commissioners have listened to the report presented by the traffic engineer, and they also listened to the resident as such. And the consensus was that they made a determination that they wanted to approve the requested ADA parking space, with the understanding that anyone with a placard can park there. It's not just guaranteed for the homeowner that are going to have that space just for them. Anybody with a ADA placard can park in that space. But yes, it's in the past that the commissioners have made a decision different than the presenter report.
Thank you.
So just for a little bit of clarification, should the commission have a motion that deviates from the recommendation, and in other words, would approve the request, albeit circumventing one of the conditions of the policy, then that's a motion that you can make.
If you may rephrase, please. I'm not understanding.
Yes, since the item before you recommends denial, you can go ahead and put forth a motion if the commission wants to consider granting the request. In other words, moving it forward for city council's consideration of approval.
Thank you. So commissioners, I leave it up to you in case you want to make a motion. Okay,
Yeah,
oh,
sorry,
go ahead.
just, I know you mentioned earlier that you wanted to table this item to have further discussion. Is there anything that you had in mind where you'd like to get some clarity on, or I think I heard earlier that you wanted to maybe postpone on making a decision on this. Is there any other information that you think would, help us make this decision, or?
Yes, actually, I would like for city staff to go ahead and make a reconsideration of this. I strongly believe that, after hearing the grievances from our public member, that it should be approved, right? but I understand that in our agenda, the recommendation is to deny the request. So I was gonna propose, if permissible, to actually motion to approve the request and not as it's written of denying the request. And in that case, I would need a second commissioner to either second it, and then that can lead that to be approved. Yeah, unless if I'm not, okay, thank you.
Correct.
So, yeah, I Commissioner Mendez, motion to approve the recommended request. Is that enough verbatim, or do I need to be more specific?
I think what you want to do is put forth a motion approving the request from the resident to install the disabled person parking space for the city council's consideration.
Yes, yes, exactly that. May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, may we please have roll call?
Yes. Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next item, 7.3, Mr. Iniguez.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Item number 7.3 is regarding a request for green curb parking restrictions fronting 8209 Eastern Avenue. It is staff's recommendation that the Traffic and Safety Commission approve for city council consideration the installation of 22 feet of green curb parking restrictions and a sign for parking along the business frontage at 8209 Eastern Avenue. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dennis for the report. Dennis?
Thank you, Director. I'm going to give the background information of the recommendation that was just stated. On August 25th, the El Polito Bakery requested a green curb fronting their business at 8209 Eastern Avenue. I made telephone contact with the owner and discussed the installation of a 20-minute green curb to help accommodate the parking demand at the El Polito Bakery. In reference, I just mentioned to the owner about the Bell Gardens Municipal Code, about green curb, the 20-minute parking statement in the code, what the time limits would be and so forth when I spoke with her. So I asked the question, I wanted to find out, is that going to accommodate your demand? And she said yes. The existing conditions, of course, Eastern Avenue is a posted arterial with 40 miles per hour. I provided pictures in your report, an aerial view to show the location. And figure 2 gives you a street view of the facility that's requesting the green curb. I did the investigation to check it out. If I were to put a green curb in, how much would I put in? And to allow for maneuvering in and out of that space, 22 feet is the appropriate length to put in. I also then would install a what we call an R32F California modified 20-minute parking sign, which I presented a picture of it on figure 4 so that you can see. So the figure 4 shows 20-minute parking sign, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sundays and holidays, which means then it's open. Figure 3 gives you a visual picture of what it would look like. The 22 feet would definitely accommodate vehicles in and out of that space to visit the El Polito restaurant, bakery there, and to do business. The fiscal impact to do the sign, the parking sign as well as what we call a Telspar post or a rectangular post put in. They drilled a hole in the concrete. We put the post in and we accommodate and we put the sign in there to the post. But in addition, I've also requested that we put 2 stencils of white paint on top of the green curb after it's put in, so that a person getting out of their vehicle, if they didn't see the sign, they definitely will see the 20-minute stencil on top of the curb showing it's 20-minute parking. So we give you this, we present the sign and we present the stenciling so that everyone's informed. And that was the basis of looking at that. I recommended approval of the green curb and sign with the additional white stenciling of the 20 minutes. And with that, I would answer any questions that the commissioners may have. This will, as you mentioned, will go to the city council for confirmation after from here.
Thank you so much for the report. I'll start off questions. Once again, you followed up with the applicant on the matter and they were in agreement with those changes, proposed changes, right?
Yes, they were in agreement with my concern always is we did one of these earlier this year is with that length of time going to accommodate the demand, and the lady indicated she thought that would be adequate for her, the 20 minutes, because per the municipal code of Bell Gardens, anything beyond that time has to go to the council. They're the only ones that can approve a time limit greater than 20 minutes. And they would have to discuss it, vote on it, and then make the decision to go beyond that. Say if the business owner wanted more than 20 minutes, for example.
Thank you so much. I have no further question.
Yeah, I have a quick question. I know you recommended to install 22 feet. Is that typically standard for one parking stall, or is there a certain reason why it's 22 feet?
Yeah, so 22 feet is the, I think there's a minimum in the state. I think it's 20 feet. I allow two extra feet in there to allow easier ingress, egress, and maneuvering. A lot of these larger vehicles today, if you see pickup trucks and so forth that are out there, they need a little more space. Just allows better ingress, egress, and I think provides a safer maneuver going into the space. If it were down there real tight, the minimum being down say down 18 feet, they're going to have to go out there, back up, twist and that, where the 22 feet just allows easier ingress, egress. If you use what we call turning templates to see how they go in and out of the space.
Thank you.
What is the approximate cost for the painting of the curb and what's for the sign?
The sign again, the sign will be again almost like the other sign. It'll be around $350. The painting and that's will be done by in-house staff as such, just part of the normal maintenance budget. I haven't quantified that what that would be. If I were to estimate, it's probably be in the $100 to $150 probably to put that green curb in with the painting and putting the stencils on, plus the sign. So you're looking at approximately $500 total.
Just for the sign, $350. That's the approximate.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes the city has maybe signs on hand, but I'm speculating. To my knowledge, I don't believe they have that particular one. The sign that I presented there is, again, diamond grade sheeting, so it's going to last at least 10 to 15 years, a long time. That's the higher grade sheeting for the sign, but it's also very reflective. And so in the evening hours, it's going to show up when it picks up that headlight or whatever.
A follow-up question, if I may. If this gets approved, what's the process look like to notify law enforcement about for enforcement manners? of enforcing this new installation?
I can't speculate for the Public Works Department. I see, and the Police Department, PD is here tonight, but I think that normally we'd send a letter out to the chief indicating this is recently approved by the commission. New green curbs have been approved and they'll be being installed by the Public Works staff. Just advise, it's like an advisory memo, just alerting them to the fact and also the timeline.
Thank you.
To expand on that, this would go to the city council as a resolution.
Yeah.
So would amend our citywide parking restrictions. I'm at every council meeting and I see the chief of police at every meeting. So for sure, he's made aware and he has one of his officers at this meeting as well.
Great, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Commissioners, any other follow-up question?
I have a follow-up. Is there any other alternative of the material of it? Because $350 for signs does seem like a lot. So is there any other alternative or?
If I can just clarify, the $350 is for everything. Labor, paint, sign, post,
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive. And this is our typical cost for signage.
Thank you.
If there are no additional questions, if I may have a motion from the commission?
I motion.
Thank you, and I'll second. Madam Secretary, may we please have roll call?
Yes. Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendes, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yeah.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to section item 7.4, Mr. Iniguez.
Yes, Mr. Chair, item number 7.4 is regarding a request for a disabled person parking space fronting 5564 Agra Street. It is staff's recommendation that the Traffic and Safety Commission deny the request for a disabled person parking space fronting 5564 Agra Street. So Dennis, if you can please provide the full report.
Thank you, Director. Background, I'll mention or talk about the background information and discussion. Staff received the request to install the parking space for the resident at 5564 Agra. Again, like on the prior report, I repeated the city's on-street policy. The applicant has to be in possession of the disabled space. The placard must be in front of the space has to be in front of the person's home residence that's making the request. And the other key point is the resident must not have off-street parking available or off-street parking space that can be used for the disabled parking. The applicant has to provide the medical statement, so forth, from the doctor. And then we received that information from the applicant, from the resident. I provided in figure 1, it gives you an aerial view of the resident location, the resident's address. Figure 2 gives you the street view that you're looking at. You can see there's a wide open area there. Figure 3 I provided gives you an approximate driveway width of 11.6 feet. So it's, the existing driveway is wide enough to accommodate opening the doors for a person to get in and out of the vehicle. Depending on their situation, they need to get ingress, egress to the vehicle. With that in mind, the investigation again proceeded to review the facts. As I mentioned, they have all the applicant provided all the necessary documentation, application, the license, placard, and so forth, and the medical doctor statement as well. Looking at all that information, I made a determination that the location does not qualify for a parking space primarily because they have adequate off-street parking on their driveway and therefore would not really need a space in front of their home. And with that, I would open it up to discussion by the commissioners.
Okay, commissioners, do you guys have questions in regards to this item?
No, on my part.
So on my end, I like to be consistent when it comes to these motions. So unless if a commissioner would like to further discuss, I would like to motion to approve this request. As similar to the item 7.2 for the sake of consistency.
I think just from briefly looking at Google Street View and obviously not having the resident here present to voice their concern, it looks like their driveway is in good shape. I know we do want to be consistent, but we also, want to be conscious of the parking issue that we have in the city. And if we don't have someone here, maybe giving us more information that we currently have, I would have to say that I would want to reject it.
Point taken. Thank you. Commissioners, if there's no further discussion, questions, or concerns, I need a motion from a member of the commission.
I motion to move forward with staff's recommendation.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, may we please take roll call?
Yes. Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Now, the next item in the agenda is item number 7.5, reorganization and selective of chairperson and vice chairperson. Since we have members who are absent, I am hoping that the commission tonight allows to table this for the next commission meeting, unless if anybody opposes. Okay, if members of the commission tonight don't have anything against, I will go ahead and motion this to be tabled for the next month's commission meeting, to table it for the next agenda. May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. May we have a roll call on the motion, Madam Secretary?
Yes, Chairperson. Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Now we move on to the next item, and that's commissioner comments. At this time, Commissioner Perez or Commissioner Lopez, I don't know if you have any comments.
I think just a question. I know we tabled item 7.5. Is there a minimum requirement for the number of commissioners in order to move forward with that reorganization? Or can it be done with just?
As long as there's a quorum, an item could technically move forward.
Sounds good. Thank you.
If I may chime in, I just wanted the other commissioners to be present so that they could have a voice in the selection process. That's my reasoning behind that. If I may, my comment is to the public. Thank you so much for coming in, for voicing your opinions. I really hope that you did see tonight that the commission is hearing out your grievances and your concerns. It was brought upon me today unexpectedly to take order and managing the commission. So I thank you for your patience. I thank the city staff for their helpful and their assistance, as it's even though I'm a seasoned commissioner in other commissions, it's always a new learning curveball. So I thank you very much. And again, I highly appreciate that our members of the public always come in and raise their concerns. It's highly important because otherwise our commissions are never in the know. So please empower yourselves and empower others, your neighbors, to come into these type of meetings and voice these concerns. Thank you so much. Any other comments from commissioners? Okay, the next item is comments from staff.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just want to report that staff continues to work with our consultants from KOA on the development of the Safer Streets for All plan. So this is going to update our citywide complete streets plan. We had a technical advisory committee meeting on September 24th regarding that. And it was attended by city staff, including our police department, metro staff, and also members of our schools from the Montebello Unified School District. So that effort does continue. And that concludes staff comments.
Thank you so much. So adjournment to the next scheduled meeting will be November 4th, 2025. I need a motion from a commissioner to adjourn this meeting to the next scheduled meeting of November 4th, 2025.
I motion.
Sorry, there's a motion on the table. May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Do we need a roll call on the?
Hugo Alvarado, Commissioner. Edgar Lopez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Gustavo Mendez, Commissioner.
Yes.
Samuel Perez, Commissioner.
Yes.
David Heredia, Chairperson.
Okay. The meeting is now closed at 6:45.